Welcome to the Regular Joe's podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
I'm Todd Pleasant.
And I'm Brian Mix.
If you're not sick of Brian yet, you don't get
wait.
sick of him ever
because
he's here
we
again.
barely leave our houses. Brian is our remote correspondent, and
Brian's out in the world doing things. Yes.
So, yep.
He's like our man about town.
That's it.
Man on the street.
He's out doing all the things we wish we could be doing. And
now he's here to tell you about it.
And that's here to tell us about it. So
That's
we'll
right.
get into that soon. But today, hey, if you haven't listened to the 2-part 100 movies, top movie list, go check it out or watch it on YouTube.
Dave and I watched the second part in his theater room, and it was quite awesome. So,
did we talk about that last week?
Yes.
I think you may have mentioned it. What we didn't talk about, and I won't go into all the gory details, but we actually the three of us did get together what turned out to be for like an hour, but was supposed to be an overnight thing. But yeah, we did get together a couple weekends ago, and that was the night that I had to leave. Unfortunately, I got pulled away and I had to drive back home, but you guys got to hang out and watch the whole thing. So I was very jealous that I didn't get to stick around, but we did finally get to do our holiday gift exchange in person, even though it was kind of rushed. So
we did. So anyway, check those out and check it out on YouTube.
Yeah. If my friends are in any indication, you'll find it highly controversial.
Well,
100 list. Yeah.
Yep.
Our sponsor thought it was controversial. So
he totally was. He was not happy about some of those movies.
Yeah.
Brian, we talked about this. We did talk about this last week, but Brian, I think you said Joe versus Volcano.
That was me. Yeah.
We almost lost our sponsor because of you. We said it wasn't us. It was
I rate people's ability to understand good movies on how much they like Joe versus the Volcano, because it has got so many layers that you've got to watch it about 4 times to see them.
I had someone ask me today if I had seen Firefly. Okay. To which I said, you should just be aware of this. I said, we've established a scale that if at this point you haven't seen Firefly, you can't be my friend. It's not even like, do you like it? But if at this point it's just never come up in your life, you're just off.
I was watching an old episode of The Big Bang Theory the other night. There's an episode where Sheldon and Leonard are meeting for the first time. And he's like, well, it's Friday night. This is the night we're going to watch Firefly, because that show is going to be on for a long, like many seasons. And Friday night's going to be the night.
Yeah.
That is funny. Firefly is one of those shows when I see it on sale on Amazon as the DVD or Blu-ray set, you feel like you have to buy it even though you already have it, because it's just that good.
I want to see it again.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I don't know what that word, but go listen to our movies. We're going to talk about the prop store auction that's coming up at the end of this month. This month is June. If you're listening to this in the future, June 2021. So we'll talk about that and some other stuff. Let's go random. Brian, you're our guest. What do you got random?
The Cinerama Dome is closed. It's a very famous movie theater on Sunset Boulevard in California. It was originally built to be the 3-screen Cinerama process, which is why it's called the Cinerama Dome. They had 3 projectors and 3 screens. It's famous for the Mad World opening there. Also, when Quentin Tarantino had his Western, which name just now escapes me.
The Django Unchanged?
Yeah, no, his Western, the Western, Hateful Eight. He insisted it opened there. But the ArcLight bought it and turned it into an art house along with some other theaters, but COVID killed it, and ArcLight's out of business. And
ArcLight's out of business?
ArcLight shut down too.
Oh, that's too bad.
And the Dome building is a architectural what do they call that? A historic building landmark. So they can't knock it down, but they could, build a mall in it.
Ugh.
So hopefully Spielberg or someone will step in and save it. But yeah, it's a real shame that COVID has killed off a very famous movie theater in Hollywood.
I have a feeling that when, a couple more months when the world is really back to normal, somebody's going to reinvest in it.
I hope so. The Egyptian was in a lot of trouble as well, but the Netflix stepped in and bought it so they can show their movies. And if you to be qualified for an Academy Award, you have to show your movie for a week in Los Angeles and a week in New York. And
so they just buy their own theater.
Yeah, when we were in LA 2 summers ago, we went to the Egyptian. We didn't see a movie there, but we were walking past and we went in and looked around.
Yeah, it's a great old theater. It's Grauman's. It's across the street from Grauman's Chinese, and Grauman built the Egyptian at the same time as the Chinese.
Oh, that's funny. That's cool.
And I saw Return of the Jedi there.
Oh, cool.
Night.
Barry, what do you got?
Well, I don't know if Brian might talk about this later, but they officially announced this week coming out. I guess it was maybe a little bit announced at Wonderfest, but they didn't show it. AMT Models is releasing a 1/72nd scale Razor Crest model kit. It's going to be 14 inches long. So I've been waiting for somebody to do a Razor Crest. Bandai's doing one, but it's like really small. The Bandai one is like 4 inches long or something. So 1/72nd scale is the right size. So I'm looking forward to that. Comes out later this year, towards the end of the year.
I saw it on that Coltman's website.
Yeah, they're taking pre-orders for it already. And I guess you're going to have options of doing cargo doors open, cargo doors closed, or the landing gear up or down. So some options with it. It says it's got a detailed cockpit.
Snap all the pieces off the grids and just lay them on your desk.
Just blow it up.
And it would be the current form.
I think I want to build it and then I want to blow it up just so that I can have the full experience of the Razor Crest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I wonder what he's going to fly.
It's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to know if he goes and looks for another old ship that, is similar, or if he's just, I mean, I never got the sense that he had so much, nostalgia for that ship necessarily, but
I think it could be how much a part of the show it became. But it's clearly expendable, so we'll see.
It was definitively blown up. It's not like you're going to say, "Oh, we got some Jawas and Queel together and we repaired it." Like it's just it's gone.
Yeah.
So
no, it could. I mean, they could find another one that's like in really dilapidated shape and patch it up and whatever. But that would be. It would have to be It would have to be part of a plot.
I can see him going to a shipyard, and that would be cool because we don't really see that. Where does everyone get their ships? Like people have ships, but where do you buy them? And it's like, you got
it's totally got to be on Tatooine, and it's got to be the dude from Force Awakens.
I don't know,
Simon Pegg guy, and he's just got to like walk him out just like he did. It's like, I got these.
That wasn't Tatooine. That was
Jakku.
Jakku. Sorry, Jakku. And I'm confusing the two films with the same plot, but
with both the desert planets. I mean, it's understandable
so anyways, on Jakku, just take him out and just say, "Oh, okay, you can have this one and this one." Then he does the Firefly thing, and he turns around and says, "That's the one I want." So
I suspect they're going to go in a different direction this season, and he won't be wandering around in a ship anymore. He'll be a team,
I think he's part of the team.
I want to see that.
Yeah,
running off a jump ship or something like that.
I don't know. I think you go to Corellia when you want to buy a ship. That's where they build them.
He's got to have big bucks.
That's if you're buying a new ship. If you're buying a used ship, you go to that guy on.
You win it in
a
poker game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Sabak.
So.
Sabak. All right, Todd. What do you got?
So earlier this week, I saw some really interesting, like spy set photos from Kenobi, where they showed him in a dark robe, which was clearly not the robe that we expected to see him in. And it's kind of a nylon look to it. And I was looking at this, and the thing said, they've talked about his having a different outfit, and it's like, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, there's no freaking way this is his outfit from the show. It is cut like a Jedi robe. It's got the big flowing, the big wide sleeves, and it's got a hood, and it's got whatever. And I said, no, this is a dressing gown that is shaped to cover his outfit.
Yeah, totally.
So that they cover him on his way to the set, so you don't see what he's wearing.
But again, early in this week, on like 3 different sites, they were like, oh, this is, and I'm like,
it looked like a graduation gown.
It almost did. It almost, but again, the sleeves, if you look at it, the sleeves are shaped like the big wide sleeves. Now it's we're a couple days later. there's pictures of everyone on the set wearing the same exact robe. There's stormtroopers in these. There's Imperial officers wearing these. There's like everywhere. I think this gown is going to be like dressing gown is going to be like the hot thing. It's like everyone wears this post COVID now. Nobody's really ready to get out of sweatpants, so they just put this thing on. And
I'm never getting out of sweatpants.
It's an easy cosplay costume.
Yeah,
it is. It's yeah.
That's funny.
That's actually pretty funny. Put on a costume, put that on, and a mask, and you go as the actor on set during COVID.
Exactly. I'm a Kenobi cast member. That's like I said. But it was funny. It was like you can look at that and not realize that that's what that is. My other thing, there's really nothing to this, but the Loki director is saying that there's like the Doctor Strange 2 and Spider-Man No Way Home are going to hugely change the landscape of the Marvel universe. And both of these have like other dimensional elements to them. So
why would that person even be allowed to say that? They'll probably be fired.
Because I think it all ties into Loki. I think they're going in a multiverse direction because they spent 10 years doing a linear track, and it was really hard keeping all those pieces in motion. And I think we're going to come out of this with the ability to tell stories in different times, in different, that don't all intersect this perfectly. And that may be a good thing for them.
Does that mean we've been tricked that they're going to pull in Iron Man and Captain America from a different universe?
Totally means that we could see more caps. We could see essentially what if type stories.
Black Widow could come back. Yeah.
Black Widow could come back or never be gone.
Yeah.
Well, maybe 25 movies is enough for me then, because I don't know that I want that.
Well, I'm with you. I don't like that either.
We'll see. We'll see. If the last one didn't break our brains, we'll see where they go. There's a new trailer for What If, just a slightly expanded trailer. It looks really good. Can't wait for that.
Speaking of Kenobi, on YouTube, there's Variety, and I don't know if we've talked about something like this before. Variety does this little segment called Actors on Actors. So it's basically, now it's a Zoom type thing. Two actors talking to each other, and there is Pedro Pascal talking to Ewan McGregor, and Ewan McGregor it's like within the past, I think, few days, he's 2 episodes into filming Kenobi, which is interesting, and they're both like, it's funny. You should definitely watch it. Both of them are like, well, on The Mandalorian season 3, and he's like, wait a second. And then they're both like ready to say stuff, but don't say anything. But there's some cool stuff, cool interaction between them. So that's worth checking out.
And that was, I just read a little teaser thing, but does Ewan McGregor said The Mandalorian is what got him excited about Star Wars again? Is that?
Yeah. I don't know if he said that. He says he was very excited about Star Wars. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's about time.
Well, he would have done this movie or this show no matter when they.
Yeah, I'd say maybe a difference between doing it to cash the check and doing it because you're very excited about it. I think I got to say, be in his position and be like, yeah, okay, let's do this. And then seeing The Mandalorian has got to change things entirely. Because
it's interesting.
It's a completely different type of storytelling.
Because they are using the volume.
Yeah.
And he said, look, by the time we did episode 3, you were basically standing in a green room, and that was it. And it was not fun at all.
Yeah.
He's pretty open about that.
But that's what I mean. It's nice to hear that he's excited about it because, even when they were making those movies, they talked about
how the first one was more fun, and then it was like, even he talks about the Yoda puppet versus the CGI. So it's about half an hour, 35 minutes. Definitely worth checking out. So
I'll check that out for sure.
I would check that out. Sure.
Hey, real quick, I got one other thing.
Okay.
Super quick. So Harrison Ford's filming Indy 5. We talked about that a little bit last week. Apparently, he's been being harassed by fans because he's been out in public to the point where he had to tell people, I'm not taking selfies. I'm not signing autographs. And anybody not wearing a mask, he made them leave. So I think people have been following him from the hotel to lunch.
Of course they are.
He had to leave the restaurant out the back door to try to get away from them. Look, we all like celebrity interactions. We go to conventions, we get autographs, whatever. But I mean, the guys in the middle making a movie, kind of like, don't be an ass.
You're talking on deaf ears. No one's going to listen to that. And were they in England doing this?
They were in England, yeah. I think they may be done there now. I heard that he left.
There's a pretty long video of that train thing going on, and
I'm trying not to.
I don't want to see it.
But
I don't either, and that's the thing. I mean, there's speculation they're going to be like de-aging him and stuff for certain scenes.
Oh, there's all kinds of shit.
I kind of wonder if they're doing like an opening like they did in Last Crusade, where they've got like a younger version of him, and then they fast forward to the rest of the story, the follow-up.
Could be. I think the reason they're speculating about the de-aging is because I think there were some tracking balls on his jacket in one of those photos.
Yeah. This is the thing. We're going to see so much shit on here. Those could be for anything.
Yeah.
I mean, they should be balls on his face.
I don't want to know. I mean, I'm hoping. I've said it a million times. I don't know that they need to make this movie, but I am hoping it's good. But I don't want to know the whole story before I go in.
I don't want to know anything. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
No,
so
unfortunately, we're past that era.
But if they were in freaking Ronkonkoma, you'd get in your car and go harass him too.
I don't know if I'd harass him though. I mean,
I wouldn't harass him. I'd go watch.
I'd definitely go watch, and if he was standing there and seemed amenable, I might take a picture with him. But I wouldn't be following him.
There's no chance of that happening. He hasn't been amenable in 25 years.
So basically, you saw him, and he was not Harrison Ford while being Harrison Ford.
I know. Grumpy old man. But I don't know. I mean, we've seen videos of him in some places where he's signing autographs to people and taking pictures of people.
Yeah,
I think it
totally
depends on
the thing we should have went to, that air thing when he was getting that award. Yeah, so only like 7 people there.
My Harrison Ford story. We were in San Diego. They did a not even a sneak preview, a test screening of Blade Runner before it came out, and we went to the test screening of Blade Runner. Saw it, loved it. It was the new version with the narration, that one just before the release. It was the European version. If you know Blade Runner, you know what I'm talking about, the San Diego version. And as we're leaving, we spotted Harrison Ford walking to his Mercedes to drive back to LA. He'd been there to see the movie. And we all yelled, "Harrison!" And he looked at us like he was surprised we recognized him. And he waved and got in his car and drove off. That's my Harrison Ford story.
There you go.
That was early enough in his career where, I mean, he was well known at that point, but probably not as grumpy old man as he is now.
Yeah, grumpy young man.
Yeah, it's 50 years ago.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe it's the 40th anniversary of Raiders of the Lost Ark, not to mention the 20th anniversary of Josie and the Pussycats. Nothing on that later.
Did that movie make our list? I like that movie. It did make our list, right?
Oh, you and Sean.
Raiders of the Lost Ark you're talking about, I hope.
I'm talking about Josie and the Pussycats.
Oh, my God. There's more. There's too many.
Two of you.
That was a fun little movie.
There are two. What movie is that from?
Okay. You know who's just has good taste all the time, apparently, from their list of movies? Fanboy Collectibles.
That's right.
You check out his list. We should publish it. I enjoyed it. Lots of stuff. There are 3 Iron Studio statues that look like they're from Endgame. Iron Man, Cap, and Thor. Those all look very awesome if you're into statues. There is a Hot Toys Bad Batch Hunter. I know we talked about that. I guess they'll probably come out with more, but that's up for pre-order.
I think Echo was announced already, and now this is the second one.
Yes, correct. So they'll probably do one every. So that's up for pre-order. But, as Daryl says, there's Pops and Hot Toys and Sideshows and Kotobuki's. Anything you're looking for. It's Father's Day. Tell people what you want. Well, by the time you listen to this, it's going to be too late. But if they forget you on Father's Day.
Yeah. And you know what? If you get the gift card, or if you get the Visa gift card, or if somebody gives you some cash, Fanboy Collectibles.
There you go. If your kids are handing you cash that they took out of your own wallet, there you go. Oh.
I'll do it when for what's in the box, but I got my very first item from Fanboy.
We're not doing what's in the box tonight, so you can talk about it. Tell us about it.
I got my very first item from Fanboy. It's the Creature from Black Lagoon 1/6 figure, which is awesome. Open it up.
Oh, it is nice.
Oh, cool.
I've
Wow.
gotten exactly that far. I've not taken it out of the box yet.
No, I can't bring
But
myself
it
to
looks
take it out of the box.
great.
Well,
It
it's
looks
got
actually
three separate
great
head
in the
scopes. That's
packaging.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fantastic. And I'm trying to figure out how to display him swimming. I saw some interesting displays at Wonderfest.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Oh wait. I'm getting a phone call. Troy just called. He said you have to send it back since you like Joe versus Volcano, and you're not getting a refund.
Brian, I was actually thinking about that, and I was thinking, I think I got to do some like fishing line and have him, be
swimming. Yeah,
it's.
I'm also kind of hoping somebody issues the girl in the bathing suit he could hold too. That'd be a fun.
Yeah, that would. I
add-on
had
figure.
thought about that too. That, like I said, you kind of need that, but it's
yeah.
But yeah,
that's a cool figure. Okie dokie. So Prop Store Auction, as they do at least once a year, this is their big entertainment auction. Catalogs out. Look, whether you collect props, don't collect props, are into movies like we are, and I'm sure you are, just looking through the catalog. There's a PDF of the catalog on their website. You can download it and look at it. There's
free.
Over 1,000 items.
There's 1,362 lots.
Is there that many? I didn't know it was that many.
They broke it up over 3 days, so it's June 29th, June 30th, and July 1st. It's a lot of stuff.
If you're a prop maker, go to the bidding screen. You don't have to log to be a bidder to bid, but the pictures they have in there blow up really large and really clear. They take really excellent pictures for references.
For sure. Good point. Yeah, because there's definitely, the catalog is one picture. The online thing has 5. Some have more than that. But I think we've said it before. We are at a time where props are through the roof. There's a lot of Indiana Jones props in here and stuff, and we'll go through some of it. But I just before this, Mark and I were watching Raiders, and it's on Paramount all freaking week. And I'm just looking at that with this show in mind. It's like, wow, where's that? And where's that? And where's the book with the picture that he shows the Secret Service guys? And where's those glasses? And where's that? And like every single thing you see on screen in the movie would go for thousands and thousands of dollars. And I'm really curious where some of that stuff is.
A lot of it's probably still in the Lucasfilm archives.
Probably, but there's nothing you could grab off that set and sell for $10,000. It's just nuts how stuff is going crazy.
And I know we were all talking earlier about the stuff we're going to bid on, but I'm concerned because I watch car auctions a lot because I'm into old cars as well, and the prices have been through the roof, 25, 50% over what they.
It's all collectibles though.
Every collectibles, baseball cards, comic books, comic book art.
I saw and I know I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent. The last version of R2-D2, the action figure that they released in '83, it had a little pop-up lightsaber that if you twisted the head, the lightsaber popped out of him, and it looked stubby little like baseball bat. It's not a good-looking lightsaber at all. That figure used to be $50, $100, $200. Like I saw one sell today for $835.
Oh, I mean, I have 7 of those. Wow,
I know you do. And
I'm using one to level my desk.
The blue snaggletooth figure that I had graded, one of the only two figures I actually have ever had graded, and I thought it was worth $300 or $400. I looked on eBay today; they sold $1,300, $1,400. So
wow, all collectibles are through the roof.
Yeah, so I'm concerned about the prices of this auction, but
yeah, and it's interesting. I know we're talking about, but now is this the first big auction like post-COVID or sort of on the tail end of COVID? There was one last year, right?
There was one during COVID, right? Because that was where we got the Star Trek costumes.
There was a Profiles in History auction, who are also now defunct.
They're part of Heritage. They just talked about that on the podcast. And
interesting to see how that goes. But that was probably about 6 months ago, and stuff was starting to tick up in price, but not like it's been lately. Well, it'll be interesting to see. This
and there's no sign of it. There's no sign of the bubble breaking. So it'll be interesting to watch what some of this stuff goes for. They don't seem to have adjusted their estimates based on that. The estimates still seem, in some cases, reasonable.
Yeah, in some cases. I mean, we'll go through stuff, but I think the biggest thing in this auction is there's an Indiana Jones hat. I know however many months ago, I'm like, I need one of those hats. Why can't I have one of those hats? Well, you can't have one of those hats because its estimate is $150,000 to $200,000. That's why I can't have one of those
Temple of Doom
hats.
hat. It's not even the Raiders hat.
Well, and we've all, I think, at least some of us have listened to that podcast, Things Dreams Are Made Of. They did an in-depth thing on the hat, and yeah, from the first three movies, there's probably 30 plus hats. 5 hats from Indy, 10 hats from, I'm just making up numbers, and they are screen matchable, but this is what these hats are going for. 10 years ago, you probably could have picked up one of these hats for 20 grand.
Well, and I know we've talked about it before.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
There are very few. There's a lot of iconic props from movies. There are very few that sort of go to the next level. Where I
define that movie.
Luke's lightsaber, Indy's fedora, and there's the Maltese Falcon.
Do you think that is the most iconic thing from the movie? Is the fedora?
I think so. I think even more than the whip, it is.
I kind of.
Well,
think
it's funny.
I also think it's even harder to obtain. But I think the yeah.
They made more wardrobe probably than hand props. So there's probably more fedoras than bullwhips.
Todd, I don't think the whip would pass the mom test.
I agree with
that. Hat would definitely pass the mom test. I don't know about the whip.
You think that hat?
It's interesting, and it's funny. This week on that same podcast, they go all into the whip. And I think you could put that hat in a display case, and just about anyone who walks to your house, in my case it'd be nobody, would know what it is. The whip, I don't know that it would click as quickly.
Interesting.
And even on the podcast they said there's a million people who, not a million, there's a lot of people who've worn a hat like that. His is the most iconic. The whip is a little more specific
to that character, yeah.
But I still feel the hat. And the other problem is that they said, and Brandon from Prop Store, talking about Prop Store, was on the show. You cannot screen match the whips. You can screen match the hats, cannot screen match whips.
Yeah.
So it's tricky. And my guess is hats go for more than whips. But there's probably an equal number of them through the first three movies.
Well, I know the whips, they had multiple lengths of every whip. Yeah. So they could, the whip that hung in his belt, the whip that, the stuntman used, the whip that they were all different lengths. So, but yeah.
I think if I had to, we've talked about, I think if I had to pick something from that movie, I'd pick a hat.
Yeah, what's interesting to me is that hat's not even on the cover of the catalog. I would have thought for sure it was, but they wanted to put, I guess, multiple items on the cover. So,
yeah. So let's go through some stuff. Why don't we each just say one that we thought was outstanding, and then we'll go around.
I'll start. And it's in the first day. It's item number 7. It's early in the catalog. Vasquez's pulse rifle from Aliens.
Yeah, that was the first thing I saved.
To match that to Vasquez. I mean, what's really kind of sad is I know the three of us, I don't know if Brian has a pulse rifle. The three of us all own a replica pulse rifle. And ours all look so much better than this one in the auction because it's a different so beat thing,
though.
I know, but you see the foam underneath, coming through. And I don't get me wrong. I would not turn this thing away. If I could get my hands on it, I would own it. But yeah, it's so cool, though, that it's screen matched to the one that Vasquez used.
The thing to me it's cool, and Vasquez is a cool character, but she's not the pulse rifle person. She has that steady cam gun. Gunner, I know that's what she uses in the whatever, the air duct. Without making any specific decision, if I had to take one thing out of this catalog, that's in my top 3 for sure.
That's pretty cool
for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, clearly not my favorite Aliens character, but I thought she was awesome in that role in that movie, and we met her, and she was actually super cool. So
she was cool. I should have had her sign my pulse rifle.
Yeah, could have done that.
Todd, what about you?
Because they're on the same page, I would take both the Michael Keaton's bat emblem, chest emblem, and the utility belt. I look at that as one lot, even though it's not. But,
I don't think you can convince them to sell them to you as one lot.
I don't think so either. But anyways, I fear the utility belt would not pass the mom's test without the emblem, but it's very cool.
The hard thing for me about buying pieces of a costume like that is without the rest of the costume, to me, I would never feel like it was complete. Like there's a C-3PO chest plate in this auction.
Yeah, that's weird. I think you could have the Batman emblem with nothing else and still be.
You could.
Yeah, that
like
thing you could. Or
but I
a
also
cowl.
think the
You could have a
utility
cowl.
belt, since they've done replicas of all the utility belts and stuff like that, I think it's iconic enough. It's a tool in of itself. It's like having a batarang or something.
What's the lot number on that Bat emblem?
That is 32.
Brian's bidding on it right now. Well, I'll go while you're looking that up. I mean, I can't go anywhere without saying genie bottle. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I picked out for you.
I knew that would be on your list.
Yeah,
I still don't know if it's in my top 3. Probably not, but that's awesome. And that thing's already bid at the low end of the estimate.
Yeah, and that certainly passes the mom test. I mean, that's talk about iconic.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what that is.
Yeah, I was I'll talk about later in the show at the Peterson Museum this last weekend, and they actually had a lot of the stuff on display, including that.
Of course they did, because you're out in the world and we're stuck here.
That bat emblem was in the case. I took some really good close-up pictures of it. I just
Why
realized
not?
it was the same. It was one and the same thing. Huh?
It's got a bullet hit on it, so
Yes, it does.
All that stuff is on. Well, not all. A lot of it's on display there.
Yeah.
But yeah, genie bottle. And it's cool that it's the effects one. It's not only it's definitely got something to it. I would set that up in a little thing where purple smoke comes out of it every couple of minutes. I should do that to mine.
You could. You have 2, right? You could drill a hole through the bottom of one of them.
Not after that guy signed it. It's worth $10,000.
Oh yeah, that's true. He said the minute he signed it, it was going to be worth.
He signed it's worth $10,000. I'll buy a third one to do that.
Yeah. All right, Brian, what do you got?
What do I got? Let's see. Oh, the Forbidden Planet Blaster, of course.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it's I've seen them come up before. They go for $25,000. Who knows what this one's going to go for?
Profiles had one years ago.
Yeah. So but yeah, that's probably the one item I'd like to have on that. If not, the Rocketeer Rocket Pack would be the one thing. Although
Now,
that's a stunt pack, but
I was going to say it's not the hero one. It was the stunt version, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's still okay.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I just
yeah.
So an odd thing that's in there that I would personally like to own, and probably nobody else on the show would, but the Back to the Future Part 2 Pepsi Perfect bottle.
Oh yeah, yep.
I just think that's so cool.
Yeah.
Is that the one? Because they were selling those.
That's not the replica one. That's one of the actual ones.
Because there is some replica stuff in here too.
I tell you, without knowing which special effects guy it was from, I would not buy anything from the Back to the Future movies. Everything has been reproduced so much.
Yeah.
That how do you know? How do you know?
Yeah.
Well, and it is interesting. Like Dave was just saying, there's some stuff in this auction that are actually replica. Like they've got an Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber that's a replica that they're estimating is going to sell for $10,000. Like
it's made of exactly the same parts, but it's
made of the same parts.
Oh,
but
yes,
it was not used in the film in any way.
Oh, I know that.
Shape, or
No,
form.
I'm saying, but that's
crazy.
They are matched. The parts are matched identically, but that still doesn't have provenance. I mean,
but my master replicas one looks just like that, and it.
But those parts were made. No, but what I'm saying, Barry, is those parts were made for that.
No, I understand.
These were original sourced parts. I don't see it being worth $10,000. But
I hope so. I'm like a sync knob away from having the same thing in my display case right now.
Yeah.
Built the same thing. How hard is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is just a little weird that they intersperse some things like that in this catalog.
Why have there's stuff that you're having
you've got 1,300 items? Like, take the replicas out.
If we're going to go there,
absolutely.
The why is it in the catalog? I will go to my ultimate on that. The Star Trek figures.
They have started to sell some toys, and I guess that's why that stuff's in there. But
yeah,
they had a separate catalog last time for the toys.
That's really odd. It's just really odd. And like the aliens, it's funny. Like the aliens, the low end estimates are what those aliens sell for a lot anyways.
Yeah.
But the actual bridge crew figures are,
they're $50. You get a carded Kirk.
That's
still
what I'm saying. I'm saying they're crazy high.
I know you think that,
anymore?
But you can't.
100?
Not anymore.
Is it 100?
No,
probably 100. Yeah,
they're 100-ish. But
Kirk and
what I'm
Spock
saying
is Spock is up higher now, and the rest of them have gone a couple hundred.
Right.
But
Barry, don't the aliens sell for a lot more than
aliens are a lot?
The aliens, yeah, but not the first series aliens. The first series aliens are probably $200-300 a piece.
Are they really?
The Romulan is
no.
The
those are the later era ones. Yeah,
those are. I mean, a year ago,
got to the Andorian. The later aliens are much more, the Romulan is still the most expensive.
Well, if you're questioning why stuff is in the auction, why is stuff from the Lost in Space movie and the second and third Matrix movies with really high estimates? There's stuff in there with $10,000 estimates. Is there anyone in the world who likes the second or third Matrix movie?
There are people that like those, and they would be sufficiently mentally challenged that they might part with a lot of money. So
they might be wrong.
That's what I'm saying. They already have demonstrated bad judgment and loving those films. Why not take a shot? Roll the dice.
But there's some big prices there.
The other chancy thing it's on my list. I'm looking at it, but is the black hole gun from the Palomino. Is a casting, just a raw casting. It's not painted, so it wasn't supposedly from the same prop builder. But a friend of mine, Mike, made a black hole gun, the dual barrel one. The Palomino is a single barrel. He made a dual barrel year. I mean, this was the year the black hole came out, 79 or 80. He made a black hole gun and then sold it at a convention. And we swear we see castings of his gun being sold as original guns now.
Oh, really?
Wow. Molded from original guns now. Yeah, because the way he it's got tube wrapped around it, and the way he drilled a hole and put it in the hole is really distinctive. So we're seeing guns molded off the original. It's like, that's off Mike's gun.
Well, that's part of the problem with some of this stuff now, is that some of these movies are so old that a 30-year-old replica might be hard to distinguish from.
It would be very hard.
The real thing.
Yeah.
40-year-old replica.
I think another thing on my list that would probably surprise you guys, but I love these Statler and Waldorf puppet heads.
Oh yeah, those are awesome.
Those are cool. Yeah.
I think if you put a shirt collar and a tie in those and you mount them on a plaque on the wall, that would be the most awesome thing.
Those would be cool.
It's
I had them on my list of stuff.
They don't even need bodies. They're so iconic.
Speaking of old props, there's another auction site, not this one, that's selling a supposedly Hero Phaser 2 from Star Trek. I don't know if you guys have seen any of the fervor about that.
No.
It's apparently Greg Jean compared it to his, which Greg Jean is the only person that has a known Hero Phaser 2. And he says it looks like it was made by the same people. But there's also a phalanx of fans going, this is not real. This is fake.
What site is that?
Oh, I'll have to go look.
Send us a link to that.
Yeah, because I'm bidding on it.
Yeah. But if it's somebody will believe it's real and somebody will pay $150,000 for it.
Yeah.
Or maybe more if it's because it's a functioning Hero Phaser 1 with the slide that slides up, and it comes in and out of the Phaser 2, and it's if it's real, it's an amazing find.
Well, I'll throw another one out there, and this is the one I might actually bid on, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Why are you saying it? But go ahead.
Because we've been rewatching Lost.
Oh,
they've got one of the Virgin Mary statues from the first season of Lost, which I remember when they did the Lost auction, I wanted one of those, and I didn't go after anything. I wish I had, because
it was probably $100 back then.
No, since I've been rewatching, I've been looking on eBay and looking online at Lost props, and the only thing I could probably afford right now that's on eBay is the Dharma Initiative bottle of ketchup, which I really don't want. So the fact that they've got an actual Virgin Mary statue in this auction, I may actually have to bid on it.
That's cool. That's good. I was looking at that too. I do like the Obi-Wan fighting saber. I mean, those are I feel like there's not a lot of talk, but that's a big deal. There's a ton of them, but it's a fortune. I mean, it's a ton
And
of
I
money.
feel like, I don't know if it's the same ones that keep getting put up for auction, but I feel like
There
I
had
see
to
those all the
be
time.
dozens of those. There's a lot. I know a couple people have them. I mean, I don't know personally, but I've seen their collections that have them. But I mean, those go for a lot of money. It'd be nice to get that, but that's definitely on my list of stuff, cool stuff.
Some other fun stuff that I'm not going to bid on, but have it's close to my heart is the Blue Harvest stuff. There's Blue Harvest
some cool
raincoat,
stuff
and
in
Blue
there.
Harvest hat and shirt, and that's fun. That stuff's starting to come out of the woodwork now too, as people are realizing it's worth money. ILM guys are grabbing it out of their t-shirt pile. This is what
It feels like there's a bunch of stuff in this catalog that came from, oh my God, I'm an former ILM guy, and I've got like a bunch of Death Star gunner towers and Death Star tiles in my collection. I just want to get rid of now because the prices are through the roof.
Well, that phaser auction's a heritage auction. Heritage.
Oh, it is
auction.
heritage.
Yeah, it's heritage.
I'll have to look that up.
Just Google it. Heritage auction phaser. It'll come up on something.
So what's the one thing
question.
that? Oh, go ahead, Todd.
I was just going to say, did Kate Beckinsale ever wear the same cat suit twice in Underworld, or did they just sell it over and over again? Because every one of these auctions has that Celine outfit.
That's funny. That ties into what I was just about to ask. I was just going to say, is there anything in this entire catalog that you want to buy just for the potential DNA that's in it? And I think we were talking before we started recording about the Black Widow dress from Iron Man 2, but I think the Kate Beckinsale jumpsuit qualifies.
Either one of those would work. But the Black Widow or Scarlett Johansson dress was in the last auction and didn't sell.
It was, yeah. I think
there's a lot. There's a handful of stuff that didn't sell from that last auction.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's one that is a must-have. The gold Buck Rogers jacket.
Yeah.
Do you remember that gold lame jacket that he wore in the desert thing or whatever?
Yep.
I mean, if I was going to buy bad 70s TV wardrobe, I'd go for the Battlestar Galactica warrior cape and gloves.
And gloves. It's like, I don't remember gloves.
I don't remember the gloves either. But
there was never gloves.
He's got gloves. It's possible that they made them and didn't use them in this show, but they were made and kept with that cape.
Unless they wore them when it was like one of those, they had sort of their dress uniforms. And
remember when they went to the ice planet? Did they wear the gloves there?
But the cape is like the dress uniform.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Right. And there were a lot more capes because they were cheaper to make. So a lot of guys wore capes when the guys, there were only like a handful of jackets.
Yeah.
So there's a ton of stuff. Everyone name one more thing and then we can move on.
Okay. The Carrie Fisher notated Empire Strikes Back script.
Yeah.
Amazing. And they have pictures of a few pages of the scene of with her and Han in the Millennium Falcon, and My Hands Are Dirty scene is all rewritten with all the new lines in it. It's just great to see. That would be fun just to read it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to own it. I just like to read it.
Yeah. Not crazy money. Chris Evans, Captain America 45 from Captain America.
Yeah, I saw that too. They had my list. That's pretty cool.
Likewise, it's from Crystal Skull, but the stunt Webley. So, honestly, I would still display it, but
you just have to be Indiana Jones gun.
Right. Exactly. Screen used Indiana Jones gun. And then now let's look at my Tribble.
What movie is it from? Yes. I would go with my last one I'll throw out there is the Red October submarine model.
Oh,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
There's a lot. I have a lot of weird stuff on here, but
I do as well.
The poker chips from Dr. No. I just thought those were cool because it's like that movie's so old.
Yeah.
But they had poker chips from Dr. No.
Yeah.
I thought those were cool.
That also goes back to those could just be 60-year-old poker chips.
I'm just saying if they were real, I like them. If they're fake, I don't.
Anybody else?
It's a Ming sword in there too.
I don't want to say anything else because I'm going to bid on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, it's a fun thing.
Yeah.
Check it out. Look at the book. Let us know if there's stuff you think is cool. I mean, I almost feel like it could be 800 lots and we'd still be okay? Because there's a lot of weird stuff.
Oh, it could have been half of this. Yeah. I mean, it's still been a killer catalog with half of this stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you guys, how long is your list? Do you know
stuff to buy?
Yeah, mine's 26 items.
We're not crazy like you. I may have 6 things.
I'm not talking about things you want to talk about. I'm talking about the stuff you may actually bid on.
I think it's like 6 things.
Yeah, I think there's like 2 or 3.
That was the first pass. I've got to take a more serious pass at it. I have a sticky right here to look at Prop Store in much more detail.
There's one item that I'll ask you guys about when we're done. So,
okay, fair enough.
All right.
Okay, next thing. So, our traveling buddy here, not that we travel with him, he's our buddy and he travels and we don't, went to Wonderfest. Why don't you tell us about what that is? And
Wonderfest is a wonderful convention in Louisville, Kentucky, of all places. That is, it's still a small show. It's a throwback convention. It takes place in one hotel in just a few ballrooms. They have 3 presentation rooms, a dealer's room, and the best room is the model contest, where they have all the guys bring their best work and show it off. And there's probably 200 models, from kit models up to sculptures with all the garage kits in between, and the amazing paint jobs and even more amazing lighting jobs. I sent these guys a bunch of pictures. I'll get Todd to post a bunch of them on the webpage so we can see how great this thing is. And the dealer's room is amazing. Something else that has gone up a lot of money is garage kits. They start at $100 now. You can't get a garage kit. Yeah. It's like, that's a cast piece of resin. I know it costs, $15 to make that, but the garage kits have gone way up.
Is the quality better? I mean, you hear a lot more about garage kits than you used to. If it sounds like
the quality
materials are better than they were.
Materials are better, ago. and the people that make them have gotten much better at molding. They got much more professional. So, there's guys there are guys that have kits that look like they're injection molded. Right down there's a guy with a bin full of all kinds of just molded parts, heads and arms and legs and bodies and trees and bushes, that have holes in them and pinholes in them. So it's like $5 a piece. Take whatever you want out of this bin. The thing that really caught my eye was one of the tables. The guy had a pre-press of the Space 1999 Comlock and laser model kit. So I was
the one from that 12 whatever.
No. This is the model kit, not the
the model kit.
The model kit that's coming out.
Yeah.
Then I went online to go pre-order, and it turned out I had already pre-ordered it twice.
Yeah.
But I held it, and that Comlock is a lot smaller than I thought it would be. It's 1-to-1 scale, but it's just you hold it like, really? Wow, I thought this was bigger. All the fans have built them much bigger than this.
Yeah, I would think that. Yeah, because you want to put electronics in it.
Yeah, I'm going to put a screen.
You have to put an Apple Watch screen in it, probably.
That's about, you're not too far off. That's about how big that is. It's about the size of an Apple Watch. Yep. Yeah.
The laser, is that bigger or smaller than you thought it would be, or?
I would say it's also smaller than I thought it would be. I did not pick that up. I asked if I could pick up the Comlock, and I picked up the Comlock. I did not pick up the laser and I picked it up, and it was super light. This was like a test run of really thin plastic, but it was that was really cool to see. Didn't buy a lot. All I bought was a light kit and paint kit for the 2001 Space Pod.
So you're gonna finish that?
Yeah, I spent more on lights and paint kits than I did on the actual kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff gets expensive, and it's full of brass pieces and all that kind of stuff as well. But the other fun part about the show is if you want to learn how to do it, they spend all day showing you how to do it. There's 3 different panels. There's even an airbrush 101 where you sit down in front of an airbrush.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow, that's cool.
They give you paint, and they give you the airbrush, and they show you how to airbrush and how to get started and how it all works. And then you can go watch.
I could have used that 2 years ago for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and another guy was showing us how to get good facial tones out of a paint job and all the different kinds of paints they use, and it was a great show. If you like models, I think it's a must go to.
Barry, that's a must for you next year.
Yeah,
I didn't
know.
talk
I have
about
to go.
the B9 Builders group. The B9 Builders, which I'm a member of, all get together at this show. This is our show of the year, and everybody brings. There were probably 6 B9s there, and a Lost in Space Jupiter 2 cockpit set was
Oh,
there.
really?
So all of us B9 builders got together. One of the vendors has the rights now to build a half-scale B9, so there was a 4-foot tall B9 there.
Oh, really? Wow.
He'll be building for sale, and Marta Kristen was there.
Oh,
In our room signing, and she even came to our barbecue that night. So I got to spend the evening chatting up Marta Kristen, which was excellent.
Oh, that's awesome.
I had a fantastic time.
oh, great. So there's people who live in Louisville that you went that are from the B9 or
only one guy was from Louisville. All the other B9s came by car and truck.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's one guy, one of the B9 builders lives in Louisville, just a few miles away. He has a barbecue at his house every year.
Oh, that's cool.
For the B9 builders.
That's awesome.
Great. Yeah, I need to get to that show. I have a friend of ours named Scott who goes every year. He didn't go this year, but he goes every year. And our friend Patrick usually goes. And they've been.
Yeah, I don't know if
Steve
lives in Louisville too. I wonder if he went.
I'm not sure if Steve went. I know Scott usually meets up with Steve and that whole group, and they usually go. But Scott couldn't go this year.
So there's a booth, and a guy has a Logan's Run follower in the display case.
Really?
And you guys know I have a screen used Logan's Run follower. So I said, can I see that? He says, yeah. And it was an aluminum, really nice aluminum follower case. It wasn't complete. I said, this isn't complete. Are you selling this? He goes, no, it's my buddy's prototype. We're going to start making them out of aluminum. I'm like, I've got an original one. We can do measurements. He goes, oh, I already had an original, measured it, and I sold my original. Not the one I have, but he sold his original. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'll show the picture of mine. He goes, you should show that to Greg Nicotero. Greg Nicotero comes to the show every year because he's a big Monster fan, and he said they used to invite me to the show before I was anybody. So he comes. So sure enough, that night in the bar, I'm sitting there, and there's Greg Nicotero at the next table. So I load up my picture. I walk over to Greg and go, guy told me to show you this, and I show the picture of my Logan's Run follower. He goes, oh, wait. He's flipping through his phone. He holds up an original flame gun. He has the working flame gun from Logan's Run.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. So I chatted with Greg Nicotero about Logan's Run for a while, and then we went into Lost in Space, and he has a full size cockpit of the Jupiter 2 in his office.
Of course he does.
His desk faces the Jupiter 2's cockpit. See, he's
that's awesome.
Serious,
I didn't know he was a huge.
fanboy.
I don't dislike him as much as I did for what he.
I was
how
going
he
to say
screwed up
that
Walking
may
Dead.
just redeem him slightly.
Yeah, he's a.
I don't
very
blame him
fun
for
guy.
that. That's
It's
not
a
his
little to
fault.
blame.
That's the other guy. That other guy.
That Weasley dude.
Yeah,
I don't remember his name.
I don't care.
Oh, that's cool.
And
is
yeah,
cool.
so it's you can
Gimple.
run a
Scott Gimple. Scott Gimple.
Gimple.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
Does
guy.
the cockpit have those Burroughs computers in it?
Three of
or-
them. There's three of them in
Three
that
of them,
cockpit.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the guy that brings the cockpit, he's got an original Lost in Space helmet from the show, and he has a bunch of costumes on mannequins he brings, and it's quite a production.
that's
I've
cool.
got pictures of that stuff. I'll send it along.
That show doesn't seem like it's model based stuff, but it's there anyway.
The B9 is basically a really big model, right? It's a
Yeah, I
1-to-1
guess,
scale
yeah.
model, and so that's and then that's why I went initially, and then I fell in love with the model part of the show. It's great.
That's cool.
All right, we're going next year. Barry, I'll go with you. Let's go.
All
I
right,
would go.
good. We'll go.
That's cool. So it's always in Louisville, and it's always in May or June?
June. Yeah, it's always in June. Yep. And next year, well, we'll see. I want to get there next year, but it turns out there's a trade show. If they are still having trade shows in China, I'm supposed to be in that week. So it might be quite a long flight to Louisville next year.
Yeah.
Well,
I've got
maybe
to go.
we'll be updating you next year then. So.
Yes.
Well, tell us whose barbecue to show up at.
Yeah, really.
Because I need to talk to Judy.
Or Gleek. Is Gleek going to be there?
She is
Bloop, not Gleek.
Bloop.
Gleek is
Bloop.
the Wonder Twins.
Whatever.
I don't know if I told the story before, but she told it at the barbecue that the chimp that played Debbie was also the chimp on Tarzan.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
But
Yep.
the chimp was getting very bitey. It was biting people, and they said we've got to do something about this to the trainer. You got to do something about this because we can't have people getting bitten by the chimp. They came back second season. all the chimp's teeth were gone.
Oh man,
that shit wouldn't happen now. Thankfully.
No, not now.
Now
No.
they would just CG the chimp. They wouldn't put a real chimp in there.
Jeez,
Oh, that's sad.
That's not good.
No.
That's just, yep.
I don't know where to go from there.
Okay. Why don't we go? So what else did you do recently? You went to
Let's see.
Disneyland.
I went to Disneyland. And
tell us about the 3-hour line to get into Avengers Campus.
This is the Avengers Campus. All right, is they took out the Bugs Life and they put in Avengers Campus, and we've all been looking over the fence at the print jet up there on top.
I remember when we went last.
When I was there 2 summers
ago,
they were starting to build it.
Yeah.
So they said the gates were going to open at 9. So we figured we'd get there about 7:30 or 8 and wait to get in line at 9, and then rush in and get to the Avengers. To get in line, because you either have to get a reservation, which comes on at 7 a.m. You got to get a reservation, and they close up in about 30 seconds. If you don't
to get into Avengers Campus,
right, the reservations for Avengers Campus go away in 30 seconds.
It's sort of like the thing for
Rise
the ride,
exactly the same.
Rise of the Resistance, yeah.
Or so but unlike Rise of the Resistance, that reservation gets you into the campus and onto the ride.
Okay.
Wait in line to just get into the campus.
Okay, because I was going to ask you, did getting into the campus get you on the ride? But you can tell us about it.
No, you we rush and we get there and we go, okay, so how long's the line? The guy says it's about 3 hours from here. It's like the doors opened at 9, it's 9:01, and it's 3 hours. So I go to the lady at the front of the line, because the line had snaked around so long. It was back at the beginning. And I said, what time did you get here? She said, we were at the gate for the buses at 6 a.m. So she'd already been waiting in line 3 hours, basically, to be first in line.
Oh, God.
Well, when we went to Universal a couple of years ago, when they opened up the newest ride at Harry Potter, I don't remember. It's the Gringotts Bank, I think. We were staying on property, and we got in an hour before the gates opened, and we went back to that ride, and they told us it was a 4-hour wait. I'm like, we're in a park an hour before they open. How is this possible?
It's just like being at the Star Wars Celebration when you know all the exclusives start selling at 9, and you're the first one online at 9:01, and they're all sold out.
And they're all sold out. Yeah,
everyone else bought them.
So we went and did other rides. When the lines were fairly short because everyone was still in line for the Avengers Campus. And then they open up another reservation block at noon.
Yeah.
So everyone at the park gets really quiet because everyone's on their phone at noon, and you hear this roar, yay, throughout the whole park as people get in. And we got a reservation at 12 o'clock for 3. So we had to wait 3 more hours.
But you were not in the campus yet.
No. Oh no. We're
but you can kill 3 hours walking around Disney.
I just didn't. Yeah.
No. So we were eating ice cream at that time, and we got a reservation at noon, but it wasn't until 3.
Till 3, yeah.
So at 3 we could get into the park and onto the ride. So we
walk right in at 3 with that reservation.
We walked right in.
Oh, okay. So there's a reservation line and just a line to get in, kind of thing. Got you.
Yeah. So we walked right in at 3 o'clock, just as the Spider-Man show was going on, which is pretty amazing. I don't know if you guys have heard anything about that.
I saw the video.
I saw a video of it. Yeah.
The flying Spider-Man is incredible. I mean, even if you know it's a robot, it's just wow! Look at that thing go. It goes 100 feet high, and it's got to go 200 feet distance.
That's cool.
It's amazing.
Thanks for ruining that it's a robot for all our listeners.
It is a robot. And you know it's a robot because every place there's a Spider-Man, even close to an edge, he's got a big cable around his waist and it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. They're taking no chances with the live guys. Yeah. Oh. And
so there's I'm sorry, there's one main ride there, or
there's currently one main ride there, the Spider-Man Spider-Bot ride that the line when we got in, the line was so long we didn't even go on it. Even though we had a quote reservation. It's a reservation to get in line for the ride.
So it's
at least another hour long.
So that's different. Okay. So it's
so now what is it though? Is it a simulator type ride or is it a roller coaster?
I haven't looked because I want to kind of be surprised, but I believe it's a 3D glasses. You shoot web things with your hands at spiders. And
Okay.
what you're sitting in, I don't know.
It
Okay.
sounds like the Toy Story type of thing. The way McCullough Mania
right.
thing.
Toy Story Mania. Yeah.
Midway Mania or
Midway
something?
Mania. Probably similar.
Interesting.
But on the campus there was so much going on. When we were walking through there were 3 female Wakandan warriors doing a show. And these women had the shaved heads and the tattoos and everything. It looked amazing. And then up on the Stark Tower, there was always some Avengers character up there. There was Wasp and Ant-Man, Falcon, Captain America, Falcon with the shield. I saw earlier Captain America walking by in the distance with a shield. And then I don't know if you saw the picture I said of Loki. Loki wearing the orange jumpsuit with the thing around his neck.
Oh yeah.
You could walk up and you could chat with Loki if you want to chat with Loki, and there's a guard standing behind him. And they did an amazing job. I really did. There's a Doctor Strange. Awesome. There's a Doctor Strange show as well, which I heard but did not see. We'll have to go back and see that. And I did get shawarma off the shawarma cart.
What is it?
You didn't get the $100 sandwich?
No. The Prim restaurant was also booked to capacity. You couldn't get in there.
There's $100 sandwich.
There's a $100 sandwich that's giant size, and you're supposed to split it with like 10 people. Oh, it's like for a group, but yeah, it's a $100 sandwich.
Yeah, it's unusually shrunk and grown food is all they serve there. So like there's a giant piece of chicken with a little tiny bun and
that's funny
pretzel and
that's actually kind of cool.
We'll be going back. They did an excellent job. They really did. And I got my Avengers. My Avengers.
There you go. Well, it's nice when you could just drive there as opposed to us have to fly places.
Making a vacation out of it. Yeah.
Are there like props for sale and things like that? Is there anything that you saw that was like?
They're selling a Iron Man, the gauntlet with the stones in it.
Yep.
That holds a bottle of Coke. Oh, so you slide it was like the whole cans, but you slide the hand in, and it holds your Coke.
Well, it sounds like there's already more characters walking around in there than there is in Galaxy's Edge, because like Galaxy's Edge, it was a little disappointing that they limited it to First Order Stormtroopers, Kylo Ren, Rey, and Chewbacca. That was like it. So yes, I agree. And it's a wide variety, and I was surprised. Of course, it's still opening weekend, so they may thin down as we go on in time. But it was. I was impressed.
I read an article in the Hollywood Reporter, I think, about it, but it's like where Galaxy's Edge is sort of this niche time frame, and they don't really veer from this. They're showing like you said, there's Steve Rogers Captain America, there's Sam Wilson Captain America, so they're showing people from all the different places.
Yep. Well, it's like the whole multiverse thing they're leaning into now. So you could turn a corner.
I still have a feeling that within 5 years, Galaxy's Edge is going to be revamped, at least from a storyline positioning standpoint.
How do you start bringing the Mandalorian and stuff?
They have to.
I don't even think it's going to take 5 years. I think it's so subtle, the changes they need to make.
Yeah, like is someone going to say, "Oh my God, I really thought it was between The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker"?
No, but don't forget they scripted this thing. They wrote a book. They wrote all this stuff. I know they cared, and that's one of the places where they went wrong.
It's the third worst movie script in the universe after Last Jedi and the Holiday Special. No one cares. And Attack of the Clones.
So that wasn't enough stuff to do. Jeff Dunham, the ventriloquist, bought the reproduction Lost in Space chariot. It was on the East Coast for years, touring up and down conventions.
You would seen that at a show, Dave, right? Yeah, I remember you sending us pictures.
He bought it, brought it out west, and has put it in the Peterson Automotive Museum,
which you were at, of course.
Last weekend I went there and saw the chariot, which was cool. It's you can get right up to it. It was really neat to see how big that thing was and the detail the reproduction is. And there's a robot inside. The funny story is, the buddies I went with, are you guys are regular Joes. You're not geeks, like it says in the song, but these guys were looking at the chariot and it's like, oh wow, this is great. They're taking a bunch of pictures and They got there late, so I walked up behind him and said, "Is that the car from Star Trek?" Because everyone was walking up trying to guess what the show was from. Because only the older gentleman knew it was Lost in Space. Everyone else had to read the sign to know what it was from. But these guys were geeking out over this thing, and I'm like, "You guys want to see the rest of the museum?" "Oh no, we just want to see the Batmobile in the basement because there's a Batmobile in the basement." Like, you see that silver car next to the chariot? Yeah, that's Porsche number one. The first one they ever built is right there. "Oh, that's nice. That's cool. Let's go see the Batmobile."
Oh, jeez, that's funny.
And Jeff Dunham also owns the 66 Batmobile. It's in the basement.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. Actually, you guys, get on a plane, get out here, because the whole bottom floor of the Peterson Museum right now is science fiction movie cars. And they've got the Time Machine from Back to the Future. They've got Luke's Land Speeder. They've got spinners from both movies. They've
really?
got
Wow.
a number of Batmobiles. They got the Bat Cycle.
This is all authentic? Like it's the land speeder from Lucasfilm Archives, or is it?
It is the land speeder from Lucasfilm Archives.
Ooh.
It is the number one hero car from Back to the Future. One of the spinners is reproduction. Two of the spinners are from the new movie. The Bat Cycle's original. The Batmobile's a reproduction. But yeah, it's a great display.
That's crazy.
Chariots on display.
How did I not go to this museum when I was out there? Is it mostly just automotive? Is that why I didn't?
It's all cars. It's all cars.
Okay. Where is it? Where is it in downtown or where is it?
It's on the Miracle Mile, just outside of downtown. Yeah.
Interesting.
And it's actually the Academy of Motion Pictures Museum opens in October across the street from the Peterson.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Oh, that'll be next time I'm out there, I'll hit both of those. That's cool.
And yeah, so the first floor is movie cars. The second floor is supercars. So it's all Lamborghinis and Jaguars. Steve McQueen's Jaguars there, GT40s, and the third floor was besides the Chariot was a whole bunch of 4-wheel drive and electric cars. So great museum.
Jeff Dunham's a nerd. Who knew?
So that was my last 2 weeks, guys.
You had a busy couple of weeks.
I got out. I could not wait to get out, and so going back to Disneyland in 2 weeks.
Oh, you are? Well,
yeah,
it's easy
that's got to be nice to be that close.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Cool. Well, if you're getting out in the world and seeing things, let us know. We'd like to hear about it and live vicariously through you as well.
It seems like a lot of conventions are starting to get scheduled, so I know that there's an effort to get back to normal. But
yeah, I am seeing, and it's funny. I'm seeing pictures from stuff, and there's like, celebrities, whatever letter grade you give them, are like have their arms around people, and no one's got masks on. I find that a little odd.
I saw a picture somebody posted of Shatner signing something last weekend, and he was behind plexiglass.
Oh,
California, the first state to shut down, went green today and opened up completely. No, and just throw your masks away, indoors, outdoors, restaurants, full capacity. It's over, except for, they're limiting indoor events to 5,000 people or fewer. Otherwise, there's no limitations. Public transportation, buses, airplanes, you still have to wear a mask, but everywhere else, nope. So
this green. Sunday night, Father's Day, Madison Square Garden's having their first full capacity concert. Foo Fighters.
Is it Foo Fighters?
Yeah, which if it wasn't Father's Day and I wasn't having a backyard full of people, I'd probably be there.
I saw that. The tickets went on sale like just a couple days ago.
Yeah, they announced it 2 weeks before the show and put the tickets on sale very last minute.
Dave Grohl was on Howard Stern. I heard it. I'm like,
baseball stadiums all across the country are going maskless full capacity.
Well, I went to a Yankee game 2 Sundays ago. I did get out in the world. Not that I love doing that, but
we don't talk about sports on this podcast.
Yeah, I know. But we had really good seats, literally right behind home plate. There were sections that you have to show your vaccination card to be able to sit in, which, I don't know if that's going to change now. I think New York is getting close to opening up too. But we'll see.
So guys, it's time to get out of your basements.
No.
I'm willing. It's just got to be the right thing.
I have the right thing for you. Did you fill out your verification for New York Comic Con?
I did not, and that is not the right thing.
That is the right thing.
I've been looking for an excuse for 10 years to stop going to that show.
I did check the boxes and fill out my thing just in case. Not that I plan on going, but
I'm
not ready for that yet.
I'm hoping that Rhode Island Comic Con is a thing for us this year. We'll see.
I'm hoping too. We got to get freaking hotel rooms though.
Yeah.
And they haven't released the block again. I got to check with them.
So.
Yeah, in Louisville, it was interesting. Louisville is open, so there's no masks required in Louisville. But the convention was requiring masks in the dealer's room and any display room.
That's good.
That's good.
But it was, let me tell you, walking around without a mask was awesome. You'll fall back in love with it quickly. Believe me.
I don't know if it's just people.
Hey, I work in an environment completely comprised of vaccinated people, and it's required. So yes, I've been experiencing that, and it's great.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Anyway, any last thoughts?
No, it's great to be back. I know.
You didn't ask last week, but
I didn't ask last week. I have some. You know who passed away last week?
Ned
Doug
Beatty.
Kramer,
Ned Beatty.
I believe.
Ned Beatty passed away.
Who?
Ned Beatty.
Oh, I saw that.
Otisburg.
And the Doug Kramer who did Wonder Woman amongst a bunch of other things.
Yep.
Anyway, it's funny. You know what's scary? Like Ned, I'm like, oh, Ned Beatty. I did see that. And I'm like, oh, he's had to be close to 100. He's like 82 or something. Like that's The more it gets more disturbing the closer they are to
he
my
actually
age.
was young playing old for a long time.
Yeah,
So,
he's like a Wilford Brimley.
I was just gonna say like Wilford Brimley because Cocoon was on the other day and I watched like 15 minutes of it and he was old. He looked old back then, and he
know my fact about that. Wilford Brimley in Cocoon is the same age as Tom Cruise in what's that movie? The singing movie. That was from the Broadway play.
Oh yeah. Rock of Ages.
Rock of Ages. And if you see them two together, Tom Cruise is like ripped and looks like he's 20, and Wilford Brimley looks like he's 70. So there you go. Anyway, all right. Next week, a whole world of different stuff. We have no clue what it's going to be.
It'll be awesome, though, whatever it is.
It will be awesome.
We'll probably talk about
second pass at Loki.
Things we bought, things that came in the mail.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do Desert Island DVDs next week. Who knows? So you never know what we're going to do.
There you go.
We still got to follow up with some of the movies that didn't make the list.
That's true. We got to do that.
That's true too.
Yeah.
We're just giving people a brief respite from lists, but
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. And thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.